cause you be in your zone when you winning on your own. When you winning, wake up, look out the window, see the road.
It's week 14 of the National Football League, and we'll see the versatile Deebo Samuel. And with him, any catch could be a big one. He's the NFL leader in touchdown receptions. It's the 49ers and the Hawks, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Up next, a good one in the NFC West and a wild card rematch from a year ago, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So the Seahawks ready to take over on offense, and it is a first-time Pro Bowler who leads them out, Charles, in his 11th year now, Geno Smith.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
The numbers for Walker from last week's effort: 17 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
Well, this defense for the Niners very strong in that victory a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting forced.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. The Seahawks are calling on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. A big pickup of 38.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. The Niners at 9-3 here on the year. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try to fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. Here we go now on 1st and goal. Here's Murray. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Mitchell is in. Touchdown 49ers. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Look at this Niner defense. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass. Currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Fighting his way through contact. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. On play action, it's Murray. This one caught by Kittle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Shotgun now from Murray. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
2nd and 10. Murray now to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Ayuk going to go in motion right. Throwing again, Murray. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the 49ers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Moody good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Back to throw, Smith. That's to the rookie Jackson Smith-Njigba. And he'll be out right at the 35. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Here's 3rd and 7. Smith. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Murray. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Now the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. You look at this Niner defense. They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Nick Bosa, what a start to this ball game. Still in the first quarter, and he now has 3 sacks, on pace for double digits. 21-0 our score after 1. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And taken right at the 35. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know, it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
You're so right about that. But even though the math I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing now is Murray. And this one is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Smith. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
Back to the air, Smith on 2nd down. He completes this to Walker. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Left sideline a dime, and it looks like he's got it. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
1st down, Seahawks.
To the air again, Smith. Returning right back to Lockett. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Seahawks, 1st down.
A shotgun snap for Smith. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
On 2nd down, it's Walker. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now Gino. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field, and they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. One of the best of the last decade or so, Bobby Wagner in to bring him down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. connects with Kittle underneath. A brief pause in the action here as they tend to an injury. That's George Kittle shaken up on that last play. This offense so far on third down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
That's complete to the tight end, Warner. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack and a break. A yard all they need, but it's third down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They're going for it. It's Murray. That is caught. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. First down, Murray. They'll run the screen with Mitchell. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. These two teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in week 12. And it was the visiting Niners who won that ball game, so they'll look to make it a clean sweep here at home in Santa Clara. From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. Murray to air it out again. And this is caught. Jennings. Touchdown. 49ers. Jerome Chase. 38 yards. And the 49ers continue to pull away here in this first half. It's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And, CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away. But this one might be over by halftime.
And since you've already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game?
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And now he's got him in a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. They'll run with Mitchell, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Niners have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Moody good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together.
Touchdown! Tyler Lockett with career touchdown number 60. And the Seahawks are able to claw one back. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. There's receiver Brandon Ayuk as San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
It's second and inches at the 35-yard line.
Murray going to throw. That's caught by Werner, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stuff. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 32-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Play action. Now it's Murray. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughing. Defense.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in what is... All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked out officially at the 21. Now Brandon Ayuk ready to bring out the rest of this offense here for this upcoming series. So far he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
We'll throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And that is exactly what you needed defensively. It's a long road back from here, but that's a good start to the second half as they force a punting situation and a 4th down.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Flushed out right. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Trying the left side with Walker. Down right around the 25. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Nick Bosa, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Jason Myers for the Seahawks field goal. A 49-yard.
Myers' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The 49ers offense making its way back at Murray now on first down. That's caught. He finds Danny Gray. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, 49ers. Danny Gray, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners extend their lead yet again. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 20. We will get another look at Seattle's offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Now here's Michael Dixon as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded at the 20. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Now Murray off play action, rolling to his left. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Here's Murray. Eluding the pressure right. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. Throwing on 1st down is Murray, being chased out left. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, 49ers. Charlie Warner, 27 yards. And the 49ers are pouring it on. Now Moody for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now quickly here to Smith and Jigba. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
At the 33-yard line.
Straight ahead, Walker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to Walker on first down. Shows his strength at the 50. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And Walker once more. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Play action. It's Smith. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Niners are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
On first down, they go back to Mitchell. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 49 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. It's so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Walker. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. They'll look to set up his blockers. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Murray's throw caught by Gray. And he's got this down to the 35. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down. They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Devin Bush driving in and picking up the sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one good for 37 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? And now we'll get a delay here as they try to give themselves a little more room for the punt. I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He completes this to Walker. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss. and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
We saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. The offense on third down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. Now Geno. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Throwing now is Geno. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
This is taken around the 12. 51 yards on the punt there. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. And what is going on here? Are they serious? First down, and they're in punt formation. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and then you try to hit the reset button starting tomorrow. But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Wiggles free. And now the juke. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. And what is this? We're lining up here to punt on 1st down. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Well, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. That's to the sideline and incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there's no